What is up, everybody? How are y'all doing? Can you hear me? That's the first thing I need to know because I'm trying my speaker uh, set up around, well, my microphone set up around a little different. I've got my headphones in. I'm trying to use it as a microphone. So let me know if you hear me good. Everything looks good, and I would appreciate it. Sound is not good. So is it good or not good? Tony A says sound is not good. Oh, okay. I'm going to fix that real quick. Let's see how this sounds. All right, does that sound any better, guys? Oh gosh, sound is really bad, they said. See if that's a little better. If it's not, then I'll switch it back over. Not really, no. Okay. All right, well, that's good. It's something trial and error. I can't hear it myself here, so different, but okay. It's a little better. No, not really. All right. Well, I'm going to just leave my headphones in, and then I will just put the audio back to, I guess, default. All right, how's that? Is that okay? Is that good? Let's see how that one is, and if that one's good, then we'll get going. All right, good. All right, so we're gonna let people get in here for a minute. Guys, sorry, I'm playing around. I'm trying to get stuff, trying to try new things so I have better sound. Been working on, this has helped me, to be honest with you. Being able to have this channel and be able to talk to you guys and be a part of this. Excuse me one second. Being able to be part of this helps me because it helps me to have my time busy. Get to learn how I've learned how to edit, pretty decent. Put out that video earlier and made a new. I'm trying to do the best I can, trying to make better quality videos for you guys. And I was kind of testing it out. I put out a video from it was back in August. Now, don't quote me on that date. I think it was August, where we filmed the shed at the bottom of the hill. If you haven't seen that footage, we played it during a live stream, and I forgot to upload it to YouTube as its own video so that you can reference it. So it's out there now. If there's any other videos that we have that you can think of that we can put out there for you that I haven't, just let me know. So basically what we're going to do tonight, and I'll be real with you. So I've been waiting for an email all day. I got one last night from Don Sherfy Sr. He said he wanted to do an interview. And I said, well, we have three options. However you want to do it. We can do it live stream, record it, or, we can do it off the record. And I haven't heard back from him. So, maybe he'll come in the chat. Maybe he'll call and come on. We'll see. But what we're gonna do tonight is just like freestyle. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. If you guys want to come up and talk with me, let's talk about the case. Let's talk about what your guys are feeling, how things are going, how you feel about the information that we've talked about. What Mr. Sherfy has said about his son not being interviewed by law enforcement. Let's talk about it. I want to know what your guys' opinion is, and hold on one second, child. Sorry, guys. What? No, 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 no. I don't want the kitty cat in here. Is that okay? All right, guys. Sorry about that. Had a cat run in here, and when that cat tries to climb up on my green screen, and it makes it rough. So we're gonna do the call in. I'm gonna get the link ready here in just a second. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm sorry. Parent duties come first, and I gotta attend to that stuff. Hey, Penny, how are you doing? She's in here. Oh, Penny, yeah. The answer to your question earlier is no. That's not the same. Not the same property. Buddy, I didn't. Gosh, guys, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Parent duties come first, and you know how kids are. They wait till right when you're doing something, and then they want to come ask you for anything and everything, and things that you can't do, and things that you can do, and things that are impossible to do while you're at home right now. So, that's the way that goes. But okay, so I'm going to get the link ready. Thank y'all for joining in here, and thank you. Who knows? Appreciate you renewing your membership. Penny, I'm going to talk to you more about it. I will call you back after I get done with this live. Um, but I'll explain a little bit more of that to you. All right, guys. So everything sounds good. Everything's good. We'll get going. Let me get this link ready. Did I miss anything while I was over there? Hey, Patty Barnett. Hey, everybody. I should have said hi to everybody, and I apologize. Like I said, we're freestyling today. There ain't no rules. I don't have all the good backgrounds and stuff like some of the shows you guys watch. I can't keep you entertained through the whole thing, but we can talk, and we can bring up some stuff if you all want to search some stuff. We can bring it up, and anything that we need to look at, we will. All right, there's that. I'm putting this in here. If you come up and you get in the backstage, all I want you to do is, I'll tell you when I see you what I want you to do, just so I know everybody's cool, and then you can turn your camera off or however you want to do. So there's the link. Karen Sebesta, that's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about some stuff that I was on a live last night. I went over, and I have to say, I went on to a live panel last night. It was called, the channel's called Krama Mama. And I'd never been over there before. And I just was being, nosy and looking around and seeing if there was something interesting on to listen to. And I got in the chat, and they were talking about, what had happened with Donald Surfy Sr. And I said, well, I broke down that interview and last night, and they said, well, here's the link. You can come up if you want. Well, I went up, and they don't have the same opinions as a lot of us do. They don't look at it. But they were very respectful to me, and they uh, I can't say nothing bad about it. They're doing their thing. They were being respectful. They believe in us working together. People with difference of opinion, If there's something, what they're doing is they're mapping, instead of everybody having to go to every live stream and get every bit of information, especially if there's somebody new trying to catch up on all the information from the beginning of this case. They're going to have it all, uh, referenced, and they're going to be able to have all that information where it's easy to instead of having to listen to a 3 hour, 4 hour, 5 hour, 6 hour live, you can get that information on the timestamp, and the link. You get the link to the creator, and you get the timestamp of where that information is, and it can be in multiple places. I thought it was a good idea, and I think that they'll do good with it. Um, Turn the sound up a little. That's the best my sound goes. I'm sorry. I got my headset in. Yeah, they they're doing their thing, and I appreciate them. They were respectful to me. There was things that they don't know about me. If you haven't followed me, they started talking about the sisters and the SA stuff and all that, and with Dawn, and I choose to not go into that because of my situation, what happened to me when I was younger. If you haven't followed me and know about it, I'm a victim of SA. And I still have issues to this day over it. I didn't talk about it publicly till I started this channel, and I, for the first time, the only person I'd ever told was my wife and the people that knew in my family. But I hadn't told anybody, so they addressed that and wanted my opinion on it. And I said, when I came into this case, I came in to try to help find Summer. Law enforcement can break down all of that stuff. I just wanted to see if we could, as locals, if we could lend a hand and if we could help do anything. That part, that happened before I was born. The court system will deal with that part. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to deal with it. And I told them that's not what I came in this to do. And I don't know if they read that the wrong way or not. That's my I still have issues with it. And then I kind of told them my issues and the reason that I can't talk about it much, because I still have problems, and so they were very understanding, and I appreciated that. Can you not hear me good? Listen, I'll do this. I'll take my headphones off if that's what's causing the problem. Okay, everybody says it sounds fair. I don't want to ruin this whole live because people can't hear me. Sound is good. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, so I put the link in there. Somebody come up here. Don't be shy. You don't have to keep your camera on. It's even if you have a difference of opinion, let's be respectful. Let's talk about it. That the thing I don't want to do, if there's new rumors, new speculation, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about facts. Let's talk about what we know. Let's talk about what can be proved. Let's talk about the new information that came out. What do you think about Don Sherfy Jr. not being questioned by law enforcement? And people can say all day, oh, he had to have been. His father is ex-law enforcement. He said, my son has the same name as me. So he's not hard to find. That's his quote, and said they must not think he's done anything because they haven't even talked to him yet or questioned him. I don't know word for word verbatim, but something around those lines. Something's wrong there. What's going on? Then people have had the argument. Let's see. Yeah, Mama, she's 13. I did, and I reached out to Gray, and he sent it to me. Thank you, though. Yeah. So what then there's the argument though that well, maybe they're waiting, they're watching that person, they're waiting not 8 months. There's a 5-year-old girl that's missing. They don't know if she is safe or not. they're not going to wait 8 months before they question somebody. They're going to be questioning people right off the rip. I think that he slid under the radar, maybe. And that just shows you how easy people can slide under that, slide under the radar and probably maybe sometimes never even get questioned. It's scary. Very scary. Here, I'm going to drop the link one more time. Maybe I can put it up. I can pin it. And somebody can come up here. Let's see if I can do it here. Oh, it's not going to let me pin it. But yeah, there's the links, guys. Y'all come on up. I can put something else. If nobody wants to come up, I can, we'll play it off the hip and we'll figure out something to do. Crimes, lies, and alibis. Terry, right? Okay. Give me 1 second.
Hey, how are you?
Let's see. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Let me do this. I'm going to just be done with these headphones. Give me 1 second. Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now. I can hear you.
How
are you doing?
Hi. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
Carry on.
I'm doing okay.
Got somebody else in the back. Well, I'll let her come up too. How are you? Hi, how are you?
I'm not sure I got the camera held right.
Oh, you're okay.
Hey.
So how are you guys doing? Terry, I'm sure, right?
Good. Yep.
Okay. You changed your name, and I.
Yeah. Crime Talk with Terry, and now Crimes, Lies, and Alibis.
Carry on crimes. I remember you've been up here before, haven't you?
I haven't been up there, but I watch you a lot. I don't always comment, but I watch a lot because I really enjoy you guys. I think you're doing a great job. And I really think they're onto something because it's too much of a coincidence that this guy lived by the Megan Boswell and then his dad's over there. And so,
well,
go ahead. I'm one that I never judge the Wells because regardless what happened to their daughter, whether it was an accident or whatever it was, they're still missing a child. It's their child. They love that child. You can tell they love that child.
Yes. And then right behind it, this is the thing that I feel like that we should do. People have their opinions. They can think about all their, they can judge their parenting and they can do this. But right now, we don't have evidence to lay out everything right there. Till law enforcement tells us, hey, this is what the boys were taken for, if that ever is talked about. This is what this was done for. This is, their alibis didn't hold up their guilt. Then we can make those assumptions. Then we can go with the evidence. But, right now, they are victims. And that's what it is. They are victims. Summer's a victim, and the boys, regardless, people might not agree with this, but the way that things are being said about their family and about their situation, one day they will see all this, and one day, and it's going to just, and not only them, the people that they go to school with, everything.
And then what? And that's where I'm at. It's like, somebody asks me, what do you think happened? I'll tell you exactly what I think happened. I don't know. I don't know what happened, and neither do you, and neither does the other guy. Nobody knows what happened. It's a matter of finding, like you said, finding this little girl. But in the meantime, you have all of these creators and all these people, and I'm not naming any, I don't need to, saying awful things, doing awful things, just causing these victims, these people who lost their little girl and their three boys.
I don't mind calling
You
them
know,
out, girl. Believe me, I don't mind calling them out. But
Well,
there's one that
no, I
MGL. I'm not
wouldn't
going to
do
really.
it.
I'm not saying anything
No,
bad about her. I'm just telling the other day I told her I was praying for her because I know she needed Jesus.
right.
That's it.
Well,
Because she really, they all need Jesus. They all need to stop and think that put yourself in that situation. You don't know what you would do. And what
yeah,
if people started blaming you for something? That would be horrific. Because I lost my
you,
daughter 4 months ago. And I'm telling you
I'm so
now that I
sorry.
know, thank you. I know the pain of losing. I mean, she was 44 years old, but that was my child, my oldest. And I feel for them. No matter how you look at it, I feel for them.
And the thing of it is, it's like at least I feel like where we're at, and we're saying, we don't know what happened. If
Yeah.
God forbid it does turn out that they did something, I'm good with myself. I'm good with God. What about these other people who are doing and saying all of these horrible, horrible things? You can't unring that bell. You just can't. You can't unsay something when it
Well,
turns out that something else did happen.
and
You
then
can't do
they want
that.
to talk about their substance abuse and things. Well, they're just making it worse because put yourself in that situation and you feel like the whole world hates you. That's
Right.
not helping them. You're just making it worse. And no matter how you look at it, there's 3 little boys out there who love those parents and would love to be
Exactly.
back with them. I'm sure they
Yeah.
want to be with their parents.
Yeah.
So why not rally around and help the parents?
that's right. And if I
Yeah.
want to touch on what one of you guys was saying. I was listening when I was fixing that cord. But if I was, this is the way I try to look at everything before I make and it's hard. It was very hard for me to get to this point in my life where I actually did this. I started looking at somebody else's situation and saying, uh, what would I be doing, and that if I was there where they're at, well, how would I feel? How would I be reacting? How would I be living? And with my past and my addiction and everything, they've handled it better than I would, because I would have just totally gave up. I'd have probably been
Hey
dead.
guys, I'm gonna have to jump off right now because my granddaughter's getting off the school bus
That's fine.
and I gotta grab her.
Thank you. Thank you
All
for
right.
joining.
Right.
I got two more people on the
Oh,
backstage.
cool.
Oh, let me help her get out of here. Okay, here she goes. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Let me add one more here. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How are
Hi.
you?
Good.
Um. So yeah. You can.
Hey, Cam.
Hey.
This
How are you?
this is Scarlett, and I live in Tennessee. And let me tell you what, that whole area right there is nothing but drugs, and I
It
mean
is.
it is a corridor. It is a known corridor for drugs
It
and
is.
trafficking and everything else. But here's a couple of things that I tried to besides Sherpy Jr. What about Frank Light?
Right. And that's he. As far as what I know, he doesn't try to hide or be under the radar. I think he answered all the questions. I know he was questioned. Um,
What about Billy Dishner?
See, Billy Dishner, I'm not 100% on now, and I've actually that's the one the second time I've heard. I've actually the second time I've ever heard his name was today, and it's both been today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Well,
wasn't familiar with Dishner.
Billy stayed up there on the hill, and
Oh,
supposedly,
Billy, I know who you're talking about.
yeah, okay.
Okay,
He was supposedly
Grandma.
sweet on grandma. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he has a trucking company in Fall Church
Paul Branch.
and Fall Branch. Yeah, Fall Branch, and he lives besides Mary. He's got the 2 lots right beside Mary, in between Sherper, well, it's
Sherpy.
actually Mary's property.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
And
she's the one. She's related to the Goads through Kelly or Bill
right,
Goad.
right.
Right.
Well, I want to know what Dishner's deal is, because Don's father or stepfather and mother actually had the same address. If you go back, in the years, they had the same address listed in Fall Branch as Billy's trucking company.
So I know that I have a question because I wasn't familiar and I don't know if you can answer this, but well, it's actually for everybody, to be honest, is how many I've noticed that so everybody down there owns a trucking company. I mean,
Exactly.
that's
Exactly. Sherper Jr. Or Sherper does. Billy does.
well,
There's several people back in there that owns a trucking company.
I just there's I don't without trying to get without going into the the conspiracy part or trying to go into speculating too much. I don't. So what I looked at is I know that I don't. Does Sherfy own a trucking company or does he work for one? Because I know that he had worked for quite a few of them. I know now the guy that had the footprints on his property that
Exactly.
put it on Facebook. Sorry, somebody's.
I know who you're talking about.
So somebody's door is, I don't know if somebody could mute maybe if that was them. But okay, so the guy with the footprints, he owns a trucking company. Then you have another trucking company that's off towards the back end out there, and then Sherfy. I guess it's just I don't understand. I've tried to look in. I'm trying to understand why there's so many Dons, so many Candaces. It's hard. This trucking company, that trucking company. But the main thing that I think that the one of the synchronicities that I've put together is there's a lot of people there that care a lot about land, and they don't like people in there that they feel as outsiders or that they feel they deserve this land or this person feels that they deserve it. Even Jody Sue was complaining about land.
Right. And it wasn't even Jody Sue's land.
Right. And then this one, he's down there saying this one's, Donald Sherfy Senior's down there talking to them saying she's got knocking on people's doors and this, and then he says he don't know her. Then he says he don't know Dawn, and I don't know. This ruffled some feathers talking about this guy. I've seen it, and
Can I come in for quick?
yeah,
I just want to interrupt anybody. I do think that this is a very relevant person. I think that they definitely should have been questioned. We're talking a 5-year-old child.
Yeah.
And there should be no stone unturned when it's concerning a child. And anyone that says that you're wrong for even bringing up that person's name, well, if it was their child, they would want every person that was even around the vicinity or could have been around the vicinity to be checked out. That is a legitimate, you're not accusing anyone, but the law enforcement, that is somebody they should have definitely questioned. No doubt. And so maybe with you bringing that to the light, they can question him. Nobody said that he's done anything, but looking at his past, his father did not know that he had all those photos and distributing those photos. So he obviously has a sketchy past when it's regarding children. Yeah. So as a parent, my children are grown and gone, but when they were small, that was one of my concerns, and I kept them close. And so I'm sure that the rest of the public are also feeling the same way that live in that area.
Yeah.
Because that is someone who needs to absolutely be brought into the light, not even if it's just for the community's children.
Right, exactly. And that's the main issue I had, and that's the first question I had when I brought this out was, why have we not heard of this guy? Why have nobody talked about him? And
Yep.
somebody came in. Let me add her in here. Yeah, why have we not talked about this guy? Why has nobody, and I was sick with COVID for a week, so if people talked about it before I came onto that information, I didn't know. I
didn't hear anyone say anything about him at all.
I didn't either. And
yeah,
so when I
great catch.
Yeah, that's
I
nice.
investigate you two do a very good job.
Thank
Absolutely
you.
wonderful job, and you're doing it for the good of your community and to find Summer, because this is going on 8 months now, and this little girl needs to be found.
That's true. And we've through this we found out that, and I don't want to say, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and y'all can take from it what you will, but this is okay. So we've seen that Hawkins County told Adventures with Purpose that Summer wasn't in the water. They told them that. I actually had the email. I thought it was fake. I fact checked it, and somebody that was Heather, one of our mods, she fact checked it too and sent it back to him and asked him. He said, yeah, Hawkins County, I think his name is Jared with Adventures with Purpose. He messaged back and said, yeah, they absolutely told me that. So then Nita Diver comes in, and they don't have to ask for permission, but they did. All the other surrounding counties gave them permission. TBI gave them permission. Hawkins County said, we didn't ask you and we don't need your help. There's that. So I didn't say anything. Well, we talked about it, but we didn't, I said, still we got to have faith in what they're doing. And I still believe that. I'm still trying. I just want to know with this guy, when I asked, I said, if he has an alibi, if y'all have talked to him and he's, nothing to be worried about, then say that, or just say that he's been talked to. Just say something. But when his dad, I didn't expect for it to happen when that prayer garden interview, when he said, if they had any, problems with him, they would have talked to him, and they haven't talked to him, or however he said it. I was like, oh my gosh.
But for his dad to say he was out of town, okay, that's good that you have an alibi, but we're talking about your son.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't know where your son was when you were gone, when Summer went missing. Of course, he has the alibi, but his son, what does his son have?
Right. He's in. That's the thing. People are saying, well, he might be on an ankle monitor, but he said, the only place my son goes is to work, to therapy, and back to
that
at his mom's.
Well,
and they
here's
talk.
the thing.
They talk like he's a child, but he's a 28-year-old man.
Here's the thing about an ankle monitor. They're not going to put an ankle monitor on you until you have been convicted.
Very good point.
He has not been convicted. They don't put an ankle monitor on you before you've even been convicted.
Well, they do. They actually they do a pretrial service. It's called pretrial, and it's a monitoring system to make sure that you don't run on bond.
Okay, well,
you don't leave your home.
That whole ankle bracelet thing. Does he even have access? Because you have to have an internet connection. You have to have a landline, as far as I know, to have an ankle monitor.
Well, the father's, he said he lives in a different location, not on Ben Hill.
Right.
John Scurfy Sr. He says that. Now, there's been conflicting, but I saw it on Iran. He does have a different address. But if his son,
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. And I'm sorry to let you.
No, that's okay. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, give me just 1 second to finish, and I'll shut up.
No, that's fine.
The mom lives in Sullivan County. I don't know where the father's address. I need to look into this, if it's Sullivan County or Hawkins County. But if he is on a monitoring system, part of that monitoring system is it is in your residence, and make sure you don't leave that residence except for what they say you can do, like therapy or work or whatever. but he wouldn't be able to go stay at his mom's house overnight. And so obviously I don't feel like he is. His bond was set pretty low, to be honest.
That's a low bond. Yeah.
It is a low bond, $1,000, because he was out within a day. Yeah, and like you said, his father's, he said, I'm in Maryland on the 15th, Ohio, and on the 16th. How do you know what your 28-year-old son is doing while you're gone? And
Exactly.
and he might have been sitting at home. He might have it, but somebody needs to find out.
Right.
He's
Absolutely.
that's not a mistake. You have some vicious charges. I feel those aren't your regular. Just hey, I made a mistake. I accidentally
went on a porn site.
Yeah. Or that I accidentally, I drank too much and I drove to the store and I was dumb. I shouldn't have gotten in the car. Something which is not acceptable either, but that's a little more than that.
But what I really think is also coincidental is they have a red truck.
Yeah.
There's a photo of them standing in front of a red truck. So, and there's been reported a strange red truck driving the neighborhood. And so, I mean, I'm not saying that he did anything. I'm just saying it's very coincidental.
That's good, and I'm glad you said that, because the woman that had the garage sales, the woman that where Candace and them bought the clothes for the kids or for summer, for school, she bought some stuff there. That woman said there was a person in a red truck that driving around that looked like a Hispanic, but not heavier sets Hispanic. I remember that, and then some stuff starts coming together. Yeah, this is it's rough, and when I didn't know that it was going to go like this, but he got very irate with me in the email, and all I said to him was, "Hey, I just want you to be able to tell your side," and then he thought that I just he took it as we were attacking him. I said, "I didn't say anything against you, sir." I said, "I just said just wanted to know was he questioned what's going on with this," and but he took it very very took it the wrong way, and I don't understand why, but I would be glad to answer that if somebody.
For me, I would want to go for my name. I would want to say, listen, question me, please do question me, because I want to make sure that my name is out of there. But instead, when someone gets defensive, that's a defense mechanism.
Yes.
That you get, that you're trying to avoid something. And so to me, that that's also a little odd.
And do we know for sure that Mary, his, mother-in-law or whatever you want to call her, did they have to get a warrant to search her property? Was she free-willing to let the property be searched? Same thing with, and I'm going to say it again, Billy Dishner. I've got a feeling about that man.
You just brought up Penny from True Crime. Lord, I can't even think of the name of her channel. Penny, that was just in here. True Crime Commentary. She said that this Billy Dishner she said that that's not the same one that was with Grandma. She texted me that, and I'm trying to get her to answer me which one was which.
Yeah,
stay accurate on that one. Do you want to? I'm sorry, I can't see your name all the way. I think it's True Crime Drama. And do you want to chime in there?
Yeah, I mean, y'all were talking about his dad saying that he knew where he was at, or he didn't do that, this and that. Well, he didn't know that he was, soliciting or sending out CP either. He doesn't know what his son's doing 24/7.
Right.
And didn't he say that his son was living with him?
Yeah, that's what he stated. He said now when his son got in trouble for these charges, he was living at the mother's address, which is the one that's very close to Evelyn Boswell's place. That's the 8 minutes away on Muddy Creek in Sullivan County. Okay. But now I guess he lives with the father now, is what his father said.
Right. And I know that his dad's a truck driver.
Yeah.
Is that over the road or not? Because honestly, he's covering, sweeping it under the rug kind of for his son. An over the road truck driver, that could just mean really bad news.
Well, he said even in that new interview that was his previous employer again. He said my previous employer, which I worked for at that time, so he's not with that trucking company, I guess, anymore. I don't know which one it is, but that's the main thing. When in our email that we got was he was more upset that I didn't get his career correct, and I was like, I'm very sorry, it didn't say that you worked for Unicoi County, and he said 22 years, and he said 12. He corrected to 12.
Very
So
consistent.
Well, it's kind of odd to me that he would be more worried about you not getting his job right than anything else going on.
yeah, it was a whole big paragraph about that, and then there was two little sentences about his son, and and then another two sentences about how I was so wrong about everything. But which I did. I when I was wrong there, I was wrong about. See, people, I haven't had a chance to verify this, and I thought about doing this tonight. So what did he say that what he did during the initial search? Did anybody catch that when he was down there? When he talked to Molly Golightly, some people were saying that he made a statement that he did search for Summer, or he was part of it. And I said, was that the search with law enforcement? I don't know. I didn't hear him say that. I was going to pull the video up, and I was going to check it out.
I'd have to go back and look.
I can do that real quick.
I'm saying that he searched at all.
I didn't hear him say anything. Only thing I want to say also is, I have a 26-year-old. Okay. I don't have any clue what he's doing. As a parent, you want to have faith that your kids are doing the right thing. But, essentially when they grow up and they move out in the world, they have to know the right from wrong, and their decisions are their decisions. So I don't know if Senior is taking it on a personal level, but I mean, there is children's safety on the line. And when you have a young child that's 5 years old missing, that's a big deal. It's nothing to be swept under the rug or, for people to get, if you want to clear your name, go on and do it. Right. So that way that, there's no speculation that people are doing, but by hiding or not coming forward to be questioned, then, to me, that says something. Saying nothing is actually a statement of saying nothing. That's a statement of saying something is nothing.
He would
have Cam, do we know for sure that he has not been questioned?
Well, by what his father said, and that was just yesterday, he said that law enforcement had not spoke to him at all. He said that out of his own mouth.
Wow.
Yes.
So, and if he knows so well where his son has been and what he's doing, then, does he, you know what I'm saying? Does he know that?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Another thing that I found really strange is that Senior did not put anything about Summer on his Facebook page until I think it was the 4th of January.
Yeah.
You live right there. Why not? I would have that baby's face plastered everywhere. Probably have her picture on my car. He
had a bunch of stuff on Evelyn Boswell. When she went missing, I went back and looked at all that, and then he didn't post anything till January. Yeah, I believe January the 4th. You're correct.
And these are facts that nobody's accusing anybody of anything. These are just
public record.
Observations and facts. That's it.
Yep. Everything that I found was public record. Everything that I brought forward. Also, and the other thing that we're talking about is stuff that has came out of his own mouth the other night. And when he said that Summer, what was it? He told her prayer garden. He said that many times the boys had been in the middle of the road, and that included Summer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, which one? So which one are you wanting it to be, sir? Are you wanting it to be that because you're saying that the parents did something, but yet you're saying they're in the road too. So which one are you saying that somebody could have possibly abducted them? They're not paying attention to them, or did they do something to them? Which one is it? Because you're playing all over the fence.
He's very inconsistent with his stories. And someone who is trying to keep a story straight, you're never going to be consistent with it.
Right.
If you're telling the truth, then it's going to be the same. But if you are fabricating things, things are never going to add up. I don't care how good you are.
It's true.
Hmm.
And you know,
Why
he's
lie? What are we lying for?
why are we saying, you know, he's saying I have you know, I talk to law enforcement, they know what's going on. That's something that I didn't like that first of all. That's what made me even look into it. I said, why did you feel the need to drive up to there and make your presence known and who you were, and you knew this and I know that, and you need to leave because we got it under control. And I fully agree that they needed to leave because I didn't agree with anything they were doing. But at the same time, um, you know, you came and brought yourself up there and then said they didn't give, you know, I didn't give them permission to film me. You put yourself in the middle of that, you know, they're filming. You know,
Absolutely.
there's just a
I
lot.
have,
That's what raised flags for me.
and
Yep.
when he come up there, he actually interjected himself. He actually interjected himself.
Yeah.
And why was he so hostile immediately? You know, because he's got a bone, or his mother-in-law, whoever she is, Mary, you know, supposedly that was the property that Don's on was supposed to go to Mary. And
Yeah.
so they're all been out of shape because Mary didn't get the property, which, you know, could actually end up going to him and his kids or whoever if he hooks up with Mary's daughter, you know. So that just he just come off too hostile.
Yeah,
Too
but I'm not gonna lie. If it was me and they were with a bullhorn and it was driving me nuts in my house, I'd have probably went pretty hot and heavy on them too.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
wouldn't
was
have went
thinking.
as far as like I'm ex law enforcement and everybody around here knows they done it, blah blah crap. But yeah, I'd have been ticked off too.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
you
I'm that
go ahead.
what the goof troop what they did. I mean, I'm not saying that that was right, and I don't blame him for getting irate about it. But then he, during his conversation, he went on to say, you know, all about, you know, that was their property, and so there's a land issue there.
Right.
There is there is a land issue there that they're fighting over this hill, you
Yeah,
know.
and that's been going on for a while now.
Yeah, and Don and them, I mean, he inherited the place, you know. If he'd have sold it right off, then maybe they'd felt better about it, you know. But now they've drawn attention to it. Nobody likes him from the get go, being up there on that hill because they feel that it was their property to begin with, or it should have been their property. So you know, you got all these hills and holler people back in there saying, you know, and it's a land grab. They're like, you know, that's my property. You should have never been on it, you know. So I don't know. That could lead to a whole lot of problems as well.
I just got an answer on this. So I don't want to be we don't want to be responsible. I don't want to spread any rumor or untruths. But sorry. Billy Dishner is not the same one that was going up to with that was seeing grandma. They haven't pegged down exactly who that one is. Now Billy Dishner, I think he owns some property or even a trucking school is what
Right.
is what I'm reading. So I want to be careful there. That's one thing I don't ever want to do through this. Make sure the right people are right time. And I almost did it to myself. Now the Don that was at the bottom of the hill helping search for Summer with the Boys on June 15th. That's a different neighbor named Blue Roof Don. That's a different Don. So there's five of them. And then sorry, shut that door. Uh, so there's five of those, and I've had a hard time keeping up with it too. But the main thing we always have to be careful. Like you said just a minute ago, Christine, um, is we don't want to call out and make new rumors or even put something on somebody that don't deserve it. But when we do public record and we say, hey, why haven't we heard about this guy? Why has your stuff not been talked about? Because we're not just talking about, like somebody said earlier, we're not talking about one picture. We're talking about 1,000, 10 charges of over 100
That's a
images,
yeah.
and then
Right.
four aggravated. I don't even know. I looked it up, and I might actually look it up while we're doing this, while y'all talk. But it's 4 counts of aggravated exploitation of a minor. And I'll look that up in the bite. Y'all go ahead for a second.
That is a serious. Those are serious charges, and anyone that has children will understand that. You know, I'm not saying that he's a dangerous person, but I mean that's someone that everyone should keep an eye on,
He
because
needs to be checked out. I mean, there's no doubt.
that is a mental illness.
Yeah.
I mean, a regular person is not going to, involve themselves in something so disgusting like that.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I think that he's definitely a person that should be of interest for the law enforcement to be questioning. I think it is definitely relevant to where he was on June 15th.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
There's nothing wrong. Everyone's goal here, and I think sometimes it gets lost with, all the disagreeing and agreeing and all that. The whole goal is to find this child, and no stone should be left unturned.
Right.
It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's a law enforcement son, daughter, whatever. This child is missing. And the goal for the community and, for the law enforcement should be to find this child. The longer she goes missing, the more probability that she's not going to make it home.
Yeah.
But I do think it's important that everyone still, because I do hear on some other channels that everybody's saying, just be quiet about Summer. Let's stop talking about Summer. The more everyone talks about Summer, the more pressure it is going to be put on detectives to find a solution to this case.
That's exactly right. But when you get quiet about it and they're not talking about it anymore, it gives them the ability to be able to say it's a cold case and brush it. Because sometimes, this is the thing I brought up at the beginning of this was, look how many people can easily go under. If this is a fact that he has not been questioned, how many people that have charges like that, just because he's not he's not convicted yet, so he doesn't have to register, so he could have skated right under the radar,
right?
Because of who his father is. If they're, it's called inherited immunity, is what somebody sent in the chat the other night, and I thought that
said it.
Yeah, who said it? What'd you say?
His dad said it. He said, "Well, his name's the same as mine."
Yeah, he did. He did.
But that's just pretty much saying, well, they're not questioning because his name's the same as mine. That's how I took it.
Yeah, he said he's not hard to find. His name's the same as mine. If they thought he did anything, they would have talked to him. They ain't never talked to him. Okay, so go ahead.
Don't you think that because his son lives in Sullivan County as opposed to Hawkins County, then we need to get Sullivan County to investigate?
Well, he said he lives with he said he lives with him now. And
right.
I'll actually look up that after I read this, and I'll tell you exactly which county it is. It says aggravated exploitation of a minor involves the promotion, sale, distribution, transport, purchase, or exchange, or possession with intent to do these things of material that involves a minor engaged in or offensive simulated activity. So I want to read that again. So I make sure I got a possession with intent to do these things, a material that involves a minor engaged in or offensive simulated. Okay, so I mean, if he's in, and what we read. Sorry guys, my kids are being loud. They're in there. I keep shutting the door, and they don't like that. Because I don't want them to hear me talk about this stuff. But that means that he was uploading it. So he was in
Cam, you cut off.
You muted yourself.
Did
There
you
you
hear
go.
me? I'm sorry.
No, you're muted.
Okay. Sorry, I was over there. So I'm saying he has the actual, what it sounds like to me is he has the actual photographs from wherever, and he's uploading because they said they got him by putting it on Snapchat and Instagram.
What happened?
That we're not talking about this some secret site that they're, this is stuff that our children are looking at, have access to. So why are you sending it through private messages on those platforms? I don't know. I feel like you're uploading them to where everybody can see. I don't know, but that's sorry guys. I'll let y'all go ahead and say what you were going to say there.
Where did he get the photos to begin with?
I don't know. It doesn't say, and it doesn't have an age. It usually will have an age, and it doesn't have any of that information to it. Now, what I'll do is I'll share my screen right here, and I will pull this up.
Hey guys, I've got to jump off of here, but thank you for letting me on panel.
You're very
And,
welcome. And I'm sorry that you just got to butt on in there.
Oh, that's all right. No, that's
Come
okay. I
in.
did want to say one thing though, is someone made the comment a while ago about stop talking about Summer Wells. Well, that's all fine and good, but the big thing is the drama channels are not going to stop that. It's making them too much money. So if people like Cam and chasing different ones that's actually putting facts out there, stop. The people looking into this or wanting to watch the videos on it, all they're going to hear is the drama crap and no facts are going to be told.
That's
But thanks, guys.
True. Very true.
I think what I meant to say was, if we stop talking about Summer, then just like there are plenty of other cold cases that have not been solved, and it is because people stop talking about them. And we really want Summer to be able to come home to her family, and to stay relevant within the search. When people stop talking and stop communicating, that's when, just like anything else, it goes under the rug.
Eddie Kiswani, okay, so are you referring to Gary Miracos? Not Chris. I want to make sure if that's the right person, because Gary Miracos, I'm not sure that he's ever been on that property. There was just some people had done some sleuthing and tied and said that he had ties to Wisconsin at the same, and then he had ties to Sheriff Lawson and all that. That was a pretty big deep dive. I want to make sure that if that's who you're talking about, because as far as I know, he's never been up on that property. And what I've been told, and I asked questions. I asked Don and Candace personally if they knew him, and they said they didn't. So I don't know, but that
Christopher Marcos would be Candace's cousin.
Christopher Marcos, and he's not talking about Gary Miracos. Talking about
Christopher Marcos.
So many names that sound the same.
I know. Christopher, I don't know. You'd have to ask Don and Candace, but Christopher was evidently staying there with Don and Candace years ago before this whole Summer thing. So I don't think Christopher Marcos has anything to do with it, but his name's getting thrown around out there.
That's why I try to be careful. Like I try to focus, if I don't know certain things like that, I try to focus like on and within the I guess the immediate time frame, like leading up to who was directly around. Now there was a lot of misinformation from Dudley that he shared about Jose. Some of the first things time anybody's ever heard that said that Jose got out of jail here and blah blah blah. Y'all probably heard it at the end of that interview. I was like, wow. I was like, what is going on? Is it purposely being thrown out, that kind of misinformation by key players? Because if from what I heard, nobody's been cleared. He was a number one suspect in it too. So shouldn't his story and his circumstance of events be the exact same as what he told law enforcement? because I would feel like if they're, still a suspect, law enforcement's going to be paying attention to everything they say.
Now
Yeah.
there's a question I actually was going to ask, but I see it in the chat. Somebody asked if you're turning it into law enforcement, like this information, before
Yes.
sharing it with us.
Yes.
So they now know that this guy wasn't checked?
Well,
That's what I wanted to find out.
I know that there was I know somebody, that, and I asked on the live the night that I said, has this been turned over? Has law enforcement?
Okay.
And they were like, absolutely has. But so
Okay.
and then the next night is when we found out that he hadn't been questioned yet. So and I know those people are good for their word and it was all turned
Right.
over. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you don't want, 500,000 people turning the same thing in.
Right. And I don't know. I just, I felt like it was important. I felt like it was something that needed to be brought. I had not heard of it. It really, it kind of took the wind out of me when I was reading this, because it wasn't hard for me to find. I Googled senior's name and that's what came up. That's how I found it. I was like, there's no way that there's a guy with the name Junior that's not related to him. That is, and then I looked at the map of it. It is so close to this is the thing that this, there, I don't believe in a lot of coincidences, and especially with crimes and stuff like that. So these were the questions. If Mr. Sherfy came on the panel, I was going to ask, do you know any of the Boswells? So it's a good possibility in these small communities that people know each other. I wanted, I will ask those hard questions. Do you know any of the Boswells? Tommy Boswell Sr., do you know any of them? Okay, is there any ties to Don Sherfy Jr. and Megan Boswell, because they're close to the same age? He lives 8 minutes from there. Then there's 2 minutes from Summers' property. Why are y'all both so close to children that are going missing? And again, that's not saying they're guilty, but that's just questions that, if you're going to come up and agree to have an interview, I'll ask them. I'd been prepared for it. I actually stayed up all night writing questions because I thought he was going to follow through, and he still might. But I appreciate you guys coming up and talking to me, and I'm sorry I've been all over the place. I'm nervous wreck. My kids running in there and making noises, and me trying to do this. I wanted to put something together just so we could talk about it. I don't usually have open panels.
I know. I got lucky.
And I appreciate you guys. And I wasn't.
I just want to say that you are doing a great job. This is part of our community as well, and I can see why you are so concerned. Also, other than, I mean, I know there's the Summer's missing, but your children are also part of the community, and so I can definitely understand why, this hits home to your heart. And I will say that God is leading you in the right direction. This was absolutely a find that you were supposed to find. So don't question, don't feel bad that you're bringing this up, because this is how God is leading you to do. You have faith that is true, and God is speaking through you and guiding you, and embrace that. Don't feel ashamed of that. You embrace that.
Yeah, I mean, like 100%, Kim, because you know what? Not only you're being led the right way. You're making no speculations, no, insinuations, no nothing. And like I had heard you, I had watched something where somebody was trying to get you to admit to something, and you're like, whatever my personal belief was, that's what it was. This is the way I'm doing my channel. And I was like, yeah, I was talking, you couldn't hear me, but I was talking. And it was like, because that's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the whole innocent until proven. Give me something. If you don't have anything, then we still don't know. Well, but let's find out.
Right. And if we don't, there's people that slip through the cracks. But if we don't, if we don't, keep our rights in place with it, with the innocent until proven guilty, and we don't allow evidence to be the waiver or the deciding factor, the court of public opinion and stuff will take over, and you'll have innocent people going to jail all the time.
Yeah.
Because if you let, if there's not a people that stand on one side and say, hey, no, you can't do that, they would, people would be convicted on, because it would be easy for law enforcement to say, well, everybody already thinks they did it. A jury pool goes in there. Well, we've already heard of it and we all think they're guilty. So they, that's not fair. There has to be people that stand on the side and say, no, let's wait a minute. Let's think about it. Let's be open-minded. But yet, and I want to talk about what you said. I appreciate you guys saying that, because I have, from where I've came from in my life, and I know this is hard for some people to understand, is I've been on the side of, I haven't said this before, but I've been on the side of, on the bad side, and my life in shambles and being in jails and going through the courts and stuff. And then I was welcomed in through this by the grace of God, I don't know how, by people that were on the other side with, former law enforcement, things like that. And they taught me a lot and accepted me because they saw that I wasn't the same person I was then. You can fake it to make it, but people can see through that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I really want to be, I don't want people coming into my community and, I did enough damage to my own family through my actions in the past. I want to be, from the time I change my life to the time I leave this earth, I want to break the generational curse of addiction in my kids so they don't have to go through it. I want to make sure that they're protected, and that these, if people allow this kind of evil to come into the communities, and and I want to think like this. I don't want to tell me if I'm not making sense, guys, but we know people, parents and stuff, have done evil things to children. We've seen it on the news. We've seen it, but we also know that there is traffickers. We've seen them get busted through this since summer went missing. We've in Sullivan County, in Hawkins, or in the surrounding counties. They've, TBI has made bust of, pretty large rings of them. If we allow that stuff to come in, they're constantly evolving. I say that a lot. Criminals are. Law enforcement, Sheriff Lawson has sat on there in Hawkins County for 40 years. Are they constantly evolving too, to be ready to be equipped to fight something like this? Do they want to admit this is coming in? Do they want to admit, because we know they don't want to admit there's drug problems back there in Beach Creek. We know that, and I know of multiple people in that community that laughed so hard and was like, how can he say that? Didn't even know he said that. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, and I don't live very far. I live 45 minutes away, and where I'm at to where they're at is the exact same. It's Southwest, East Tennessee. It's the mountains. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was rambling.
That's okay. Has Fred Hill's pond ever been dived?
As far as what I know, every law enforcement probably did his pond, because it was that's one that I think is very. Let me look that up. Now I know that there's been multiple ponds that Nita Diver came in and got that, like I said, Google Maps didn't see. Like literally, you didn't know they're there till you were out there.
Right.
They did. They took, they were able to clear some of those things, and those guys were going out there. When people even brought up some rumors on YouTube, they had already cleared them, and I knew about it. And there were people still saying the pond beside Jody Sue's, the pond beside Jody Sue's. When all that came out, Nita Diver had already cleared that. When they first heard it, they went out there and cleared it, and I was like, man, y'all are on top of it. So I'm pretty sure that it has been. If it's back there on Ben Hill and Beach Creek, I'm pretty sure it's been cleared.
Congratulations, Scott Blue Moon. They were saying she was clean.
Oh, awesome! I haven't.
So I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Guys, I apologize if I'm missing y'all in the chat. I haven't even been paying attention. I'm sorry. If y'all have anything that y'all want to ask, just tag me in it or tag anybody in here, and I'll try to answer everything. I'll go back. I'm sure I've missed a ton. Cam, how about getting all the neighbors on a live?
Oh, that would be nice, but
Yeah,
they're not really talking though, are they?
No.
Yeah.
Mr. Sherfy, I guess, is the first one that's wanted to really. Well, I mean, you got Andy has talked in a little bit to certain
Yeah.
people, but it's been wild. There's people that talk in riddles. We know that. Sorry, I don't know whose phone that was. There's people that talk in riddles. We know Jody Sue kind of says, well, there's the final piece of the puzzle. I don't have time for that. It's a little girl, a missing little girl. We don't have time to look for puzzle pieces and I have the golden key and I have this and that.
Right.
That's not important. And I don't know. I just think it's a mess. And that's one reason when me and my wife saw what was happening. And I do feel like God is working in this, because certain things that we felt like nobody paid attention to, there is merit behind it. As much as people want to deny those footprints, they're there. They were there. I promise you they were there. And I hope law enforcement will talk about it. I really do. But that's maybe something that they're keeping, they're holding close to their chest. Their second search was right out there on top of it.
Hey, Cam, is there any way that on a different live stream, or however you want to do it, if you could go through and just kind of do like a fax or bullet points on all the evidence that's been collected? So, because there's been just so much, just so that we could just run through and kind of
put
our heads together.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. And where I'm gotten better at my editing, I can put together a slide thing now.
Yeah.
Maybe because that's what I wanted to do this for before we get off here. I want to get some guys and your all's ideas in the chat and hear some stuff that y'all are interested in, because if I want us all to work together, and by being closed minded, say I can do this and nobody else can, we're not going to get nowhere.
No.
Yeah, we all.
Yeah, one of the things that I've been wanting to do was get like-minded creators on a panel together. Because there's strength in numbers, I guess, if you want to say that. Like, just with all the stuff that's out there, if we had like-minded, the innocent until proven guilty, that's just the thought that I had.
Okay.
I don't know how easy or difficult that would be, but
somebody here said map footprints if you can. I did them. I have it mapped out to the best that I feel that I can do at this point in time. They're close enough to what I can't put out the exact location of it till I don't want to, because I don't want law enforcement to be then say, oh, you've done something to ruin everything. I don't want to do that.
Right. No.
Which people, if people,
there's no. I mean, here's my thing: is there's no leads.
None.
There's nothing. And so, if a community can come together and assist a law enforcement, which is what is being asked anyway, I don't understand how that would be so, what's so horrible about that.
Right. And I don't either. And I feel like this is something I wanted to get y'all's opinion on too, is the timeline. What have y'all broke it down to? Because I know that people are where I was at on the channel last night, they said that, and I didn't know this, that Candace was on, I think, Prayer Garden, and she said 4:30 herself or something. I don't know that. I didn't hear it. But as far as what I had the timeline broke down to, I thought that it was manageable. I don't see the way that this is another thing that keeps my mind thinking, it's that I don't see it is because to get out of Beach Creek community and get out there and to go do something nefarious and hide something, like a child, um, it's going to take you a while. That's not off a whim. If people are going to say an accident, then you got to think your mind's thinking as an accident, and you're nervous. You don't know what to do, and you're going to make a bad decision, and
Right.
it's sloppy. That's and
Yeah.
no better word.
Frankly, I think I've eliminated accident.
I
I
have
mean,
too.
I would
I'm
be
just saying for other people.
shocked. Yeah, I would be absolutely shocked because with accident, you'd have DNA somewhere that I just think that would have been found.
Well, and I've learned something too. Well, for a lot of people, dogs are hit or miss. Some people don't
Yeah,
believe
but
in search and rescue.
no,
People don't believe in them.
I
Um,
got that. But listen, Kim, I left you my number in the private chat.
okay.
Okay, when you get a chance later, if you could call or text me, because there's something along those lines that I wanted to talk to you about
Okay.
that could help.
Okay. And there's I will. I got your number in the email too. I'll save it. Sorry, I haven't. I don't
Oh,
use.
no, that's fine. I forgot I did that. But I get what you're saying with search and rescue, but I think you might know that I've been in touch with one and there's other techniques. So let me just say that and I'll let you get a hold of me.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
that's in. I agree. I've actually reached out. This is a thing too. I want to tell everybody this before we get off here and before anything else comes up. I've reached out to the Missing Can-Am project. I've reached out to another search agency out from the West Coast, and I've tried to get people. So a lot of them don't want to get involved for some reason, and I didn't understand that they don't return anything. That I haven't even got a return email back on just saying no. It's just ignoring. Um, and people know about it. I feel like they've heard about it, but this terrain, when they get out here, I don't know if that might be the reason because it is so vast and broad. People say, I hate when I go on other panels and stuff. They're like, no, it's not. Ain't that steep. Get out here and walk it. Get out here and do it. Me and the people that we were on searches with. I know one of the guys. He had problems in his feet so bad. I got an infection in my foot so bad that my foot got like that big around, and and I couldn't even walk for a few days because it was. I mean, you're constantly going on terrain that people don't walk, and it's straight up and down rocks, gravel, and you have to go up it because you think of a child. If a child did walk away, like law enforcement, is saying more or less, or it's a strong possibility that she wandered off. I think is what they said at the end of that we played. But you have to go to those areas where a child would go, where an adult wouldn't, and then you got to look at the areas where an adult would go that maybe a child wouldn't. If somebody with an abduction, it's rough. But yeah, it's
Let me say that I live in a rural area in a small community, and there was a little boy that did go missing. And I will tell you, because it's a small community, word spread fast. Neighbors came to our house, let us know. We have quite a few, quite many acres for our property as well. Every one of us neighbors stopped what we were doing, called the other neighbor, and we all went out on our four-wheelers and on foot searching for this child. And we did find him, and he wandered off from his grandparents' house and chasing the dog. And he did. And I think he was 7 at the time. But I mean, our community just stopped everything and combed the woods until we found him. So, I mean, I don't understand why we're not doing the same thing for summer,
Yeah.
if it was thought that she had wandered off.
Yeah.
I mean, our whole community, I'm talking 4 streets over, and we live in a rural area, and people from 4 streets over, and that's not just like city streets, these are country streets, all stopped. And we all, with the police and with the fire
Well,
department, and stopped and searched for this child until we found him.
right.
So
And when you see that, when you
why
see
they're not.
I agree with you. When you see search, when law enforcement says the community lets the community help you have better results.
Exactly.
I wondered that at the beginning too. I was sitting here homeless before I even talked or called or anything. When he said we do not want the help of the community at all, we don't need. But then they're asking people in the Beach Creek community to search their own outbuildings and stuff. So which one? What is it? There's been contradictions. You say that there's, even though Jody, whatever anybody thinks about Jody Sue, whatever your opinion is, because there's good, there's bad, whatever it is, you cannot say that 3 people didn't hear and say that it's unfounded. You have to have, if somebody says, and then their son and then their daughter, all 3 say, yeah, we all 3 heard something that was a scream. How can you say that that's unfounded? How can you say that people didn't hear what they said they heard?
If we heard screaming in our woods or even close to our woods, we're on the phone. Hey, did you hear screaming? All of us neighbors have each other's phone numbers. That's the safety net of living in the country. If we call the police, it takes them about 45 to 50 minutes to get to our house, and we all know it. So together as a community, we do band together. And if we heard screaming in the woods, I'd be calling my neighbor, or my neighbor would be calling me, or down the street, we'd be like, hey, there's something going on. We even know each other's whose dogs are whose, and we know whose vehicles are whose. So I don't understand why this community just doesn't come together and say, let's find her.
Right, exactly. And I know that there's I guess the reason is what I've been told is when somebody that owns private property, when you have people that come in on your private property, if they get hurt, then it goes into, people get hurt, then they're responsible. So you have to have people sign waivers.
Waiver.
Yeah.
Waiver.
I agree. And
to sign a waiver.
I agree.
I mean, I would sign a waiver clearly to help find a child. I would have done it for my neighbor when her little boy went missing. It's just human nature to want to find a child.
It is, and that's why we me and Allie got involved. We went in places before we even met the people that we were working with. We were going places, and we didn't even know if it meant anything or not. Just me and her going out, and we would put the kids on the bus, we'd go search and come back to get them off the bus. 4, 5, 6 times a week we were doing that. And because I was
all spend as much time supporting each other as we do bickering, can you imagine what community could do? This community could be so powerful, but we have to come together, and we have to do it for the good of Summer. We have to let God lead us in that direction. Absolutely. And we have to come together and try to find this. There is a little girl lost. I don't care about this one did that. What's the who cares? Yeah. The whole point is there's a child missing. I mean, let's not differ from that.
Right. And if the things that have been said about us, if we can't swallow our pride, which we have through the whole time, I've been bashed since I can't even know when. And, I've still tried to swallow my pride. Yes, I've gotten angry past week ago or whatever. But, I don't want to, I appreciate Jay's for Justice. She apologized. I actually went over to her chat today. She's like, I look forward to us seeing what we can do good for, for this case and for cases moving forward, because we can do, like you said, we can make a difference. We can change.
You can be powerful. powerful.
And
Yeah.
regardless of what people think, God, if God is on your side, look at the things we didn't know nothing when we came into this. That Lexi girl called into our show. I about tripped out when she called, when she had an active Amber Alert. I didn't know how to handle it. Like, I'm shaking on there, and like, I got to get off here. And then law enforcement told us to call back. It was a Friday night. Told us to call back Monday. Monday was a holiday. Tuesday for her. They ended up arresting her, and then she ran again. If y'all saw that, I think in Memphis, she ended up in Memphis, and she ran again. But she had ties to Beach Creek, and her family. I asked. This was crazy because Allison was talking to her, and when she called and said, "Hey, I'm okay," we said, "I'm sorry, but we have to. We have a responsibility. We have to call law enforcement." But Allison said, "Hey, are you related to the Dykes on Beach Creek?" And she said, "Yeah, actually I am." And I was like, "Well, have you heard," Alex said, "Have you heard anything about the Summer Wells case?" And her first words, and this was, so when was that? That was back at I don't know the exact month, but it was quite early in the case. Her exact words were, "Somebody had to have gotten her." My family said somebody had to have gotten her that was doing drugs or something back there. That's what she said, and that was what the opinion was, and the Dykes and the Lights and all them are the ones that the main families back there. I found that very, very telling that if even though if they're not going to be talking on each other as family, they're hush hush. I believe in that community, they police themselves. They're not going to tell on each other, but I believe that they're that girl. She's young. She sold her opinion. Probably shouldn't have. But I felt like that was telling, and that's what really got us to be like, maybe we need to look into what Dawn is saying, and we did, and we said, does it hold water? And it does. There is some things that back up that an abduction could happen. Do y'all think it's stranger? I don't necessarily think it's stranger. It could be, but I feel like
Somebody that
knows, frequented that area. I don't know. And we've put together scenario after scenario, and I try not to go into that speculating part, but I mean, it's hard to. We're human. If we have we don't have, like you said earlier, we don't have leads, so we have to go off what we have.
right. And I say, don't be quiet about Summer. Don't stop saying Summer's name. Absolutely not. Let's not forget her. Let's not let her get lost like the rest of the unsolved cases. That's crazy. We're a strong community. Why can't we get together and try to find her?
Right.
I mean, don't be quiet, or don't not say Summer's name. Absolutely no. Keep saying her name. The longer you say her name and we don't drop it, the more law enforcement has to do something. They have to. I'm not saying that they're not now, but I'm saying that the more the community puts pressure on trying to find her, the quicker she's going to be found. I mean, I really truly believe that. Don't stop saying her name. Don't go quiet with her name. Absolutely no. If that was my little girl, oh no, I would be singing to the hills. I would be combing those woods. And that's just me. I'm not saying that everybody should be the same as I am, because that's definitely not so. But if this was my 5-year-old missing, you can bet that her name would be on everybody's lips until she is found. 100%. I would never say, even if there's channels bickering back and forth, who cares? Her name is still out there.
That's right.
Her name is still being said, and she cannot be forgotten. She cannot be forgotten.
And I want people to know this too. And I tried to say this on that channel I was talking about at the beginning last night, but I've seen things through this when the times I have been up on the property. Those boys, against popular belief with everybody, they had nice clothes. I saw some brand name clothes. If nobody heard me last night on there, Candace was folding clothes one day. She didn't know we were coming. It was just her and her mom and Dawn up there. She was folding some of the boys' clothes that they had outgrown. And I was looking at them, and she was doing laundry. and it was, the laundry was clean, it smelled good, and we were looking at the shirts, and she said, "Do y'all want any of these for your kids?" And I said, "I can't take anything from up
Love
here."
her.
And she had all brand new clothes, even though them boys aren't there. And these are things that nobody's talking about. But even though
That's
those
got to be
boys aren't
breaking her
there,
heart.
she's
Yeah.
doing laundry. She's still buying them clothes. She's still buying them stuff. That she has racks of stuff for them. She bought them stuff for every holiday. Um, Even in summer too. Summer has everything there. She has a dresser that she's painted with her name on. There's things that people don't see. They only see the hateful side on YouTube. Um,
Can
you
you
know,
imagine being a parent and just not knowing where your child is? And
Mm-mm.
I cannot. And they have accepted everyone's. And I'm not saying they do or don't have anything to do with Summer's disappearance, but let's just take that out for a moment and just think about if my child was missing. I don't care what anybody says to me. My thoughts are going to be, what is my child going through? If my child was definitely abducted and I knew it, I wouldn't care what anybody said, because I would be so consumed with what is happening to my child, and that have people be so hateful and nasty and just, you know, cause this family more grief is just, to me, it's embarrassing as a community, because, you know, we don't know what happened to her, but we also don't know what they're going through either. And nights and mornings have got to be just living in literal hell. And that is
Yeah.
just is so sad for me to even think, you know, the heartbreak that this mother and this father is going through. No wonder what I know that Don just got a DUI. He's hurting. I don't understand
Yeah.
how people don't understand. His heart is hurting. That is his
Yeah.
little girl.
Don
She
has,
is hurting. And all they know to do now is to fight with each other, because,
that's
you
right.
know, their family is not together
Well,
anymore.
you
And
got
how heartbreaking is that?
right, and you have Candace that had
Come on.
Candace has. Candace has a low self-esteem already. She goes out and
Right.
she's crying. She's in front of all these cameras, something that's already uncomfortable for her. She's walking in parade. She has a banner. She got freaking Allie and them yelling, "They got your freaking kid. Look, ha, ha, ha," laughing on the side. You got people flipping cigarettes at her and Dom. She was going out. There's pictures and video of her putting flyers out with her boys in the beginning. There's videos of uh, and there's things like Don was going around his community. Remember when he went to the one house and they told him if he ever come over there again, and he spoke to there was a child outside and he said, "What are you doing outside by yourself?" And he went to the door and knocked and nobody came. Do you remember hearing about that? And he walked inside. Well, he had been around the community, but nobody wants to listen to that. They did do with the things that until they felt like I don't want to lose my train of thought, but Allison, this is the main thing I wanted to get to. Allison said the very first time she really FaceTimed with, and I wish she was here to tell this. The first time she had FaceTime with Candace was boohooing, and I heard Allison in there crying in the bathroom. And my wife got off the phone. She said, "I don't want to hear anybody else say that she doesn't have emotions and doesn't cry." She, she's very picky with who she shows her emotions to.
Absolutely.
Don,
Especially when people treat them like that.
Don thinks that it's wrong to show emotion in public. Like he feels like if he cries, like he's got something mixed. And I'm not taking up for him. I've talked to him about it. He said, "No, you can't. I can't show them that I'm weak, because then they'll take advantage of. They'll run over." I'm like, "No, Don. Maybe they need to see you with your emotion."
Crying,
He goes to
weakness.
work. He
Crying,
covers it up.
a strength.
When he goes to work, that's his time by himself. When he goes out there, he has his radio. I've heard that that's where when he goes, he can't do anything. Who was it? Well, he told me when he goes out there, he's like, that's when it hits me. He said, "I can't think." He said, "My emotions hit." He's out there all day. He said he gets maybe half a wall done in an 8-hour period because he's in his head the whole time. I've heard him talk and be human. Like there's people that see them for what they are on YouTube, this persona that's built. And then people don't remember that they're human people. They're real life people that have to go home and live this every day. They live this on that hill every day without the noise of their kids running around dirt bikes. They don't hear that no more. All they hear is them
I'll
bickering.
tell you from a parent whose all their children are gone. Silence is the biggest deafening. You would never think that silence would be so deafening, but it is.
I have
When you
said
go
the same exact thing. It has to
when
be
you go from
deafening.
the home with all the joy and laughter and singing and then all of a sudden quiet, that is the most loud noise that you'll ever have.
Yeah.
And I cannot imagine what they're going through. And I feel like as a community, as people that need to have some kind of empathy for them, whether they
Compassion,
believe they
just
did
a
it or
little.
not. Exactly. Just think about how you would feel. Put yourself in their shoes. I mean, my goodness gracious, their only daughter is missing. Come on. And they are hurting. They are hurting. Don't hurt them anymore. That is just, to me, that is the devil at work.
Yeah, and God will.
It's beyond cruel.
God makes us,
yes,
believe it or not, this thing that I've learned in my life. When I did wrong things, it caught up with me. And I don't know that necessarily is the devil. If I'm doing something wrong, it's going to show. It will come out. They went through, and I try to look at this as my point of view. I've been around drunks and everything. Drunk people and people get messed up. They run their mouth. And they talk a lot. Now, there's things people say that'll twist and say they've slipped and said this, but in a big picture, everything stayed the same that we've heard. Everything stayed consistent as far as what they're saying. I feel like that we,
unlike Don Sr.'s stories.
Yeah. Unlike in a very short period of time, right? It's been on two things. Been on the camera twice or on the camera once and on a recording the second time. And it's already, Allison said that this is the thing I wanted to remember. She said that Candace said that they went out somewhere, and I can't remember exactly. This was back when she first met us. Said they went out somewhere and people were doing the whole whispering and talking, staring at her and stuff. And I feel like she was already self-conscious about her haircut being short and everything. And that's nobody else's business.
Right.
Behind that, I mean, people think because, well, she's on camera now, it's not her fault. She was, if we're going to think of it this way, innocent until proven guilty. Let's look at it. Let's give law enforcement a chance to say, well, everything law enforcement has come out and said, they haven't said, point your fingers at them. They haven't said that yet. They've said, right. Have they? I haven't heard it.
No.
They've said they were 100% cooperative. We never had to get one search warrant for that property. They did everything they were supposed to. Now,
why is it so easy to say that one person shouldn't be a suspect, but then, Don and Candace is automatically a suspect? I mean, you can't say that in one breath. So if those that are saying, oh, well, you can't convict Don Jr., well, then how are you convicting Don and Candace? If you're going to say that, you say that across the board. Right? Don't sing one song and then say you're going to sing another.
That's true. It's very true, guys. The people that are on panel tonight is here. Let me move this. I guess got this question. We have Terry with Crime Lies and Alibis. That's her channel, and Miss Christine. I think I had y'all covered up with my. And
I've never been on anybody's channel, but I thought this was important. I usually stay in the background.
And I was going to ask you what your channel was.
I have, but I don't know.
You need to start one. Listen, you all helped me a lot tonight because I've been pretty since all this has come out, and I've been dealing with the home stuff and everything too. I wanted to put something together where y'all could talk, but I was not prepared, so y'all helped me. I wanted to play it by ear. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't. But things we talked about some good stuff. Things need to, we need to keep her name out there. She's not an object for us to talk about. She's a little girl. efforts need to be made. I hope we can get more people involved. Maybe law enforcement will do more searches. Why have we only done 2? Why have we only done 2?
And I will say this: if law enforcement decides to go and search the property, everybody do a human line and walk the property. I mean, I'm willing to come down and help. That is, I mean, my whole family would come down and help walk that property, walk whatever we need to walk. If they were that she wandered off, let's find her.
Make sure you get that information that I put in the private. It wasn't just my number, just so you know.
Yeah,
so get that before you, okay, and call him.
I will.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, and
that'll help.
I know there's a lot of people in the community too, and I wasn't trying to go off or leave what you're saying, Terry. I will call. I read all that. I just want to.
Okay.
There's a lot of people in the community that have reached out, and I don't know what to tell them because law enforcement says, we got lucky. We were able to get in and be a part of that and on private properties. I don't know why we were blessed to be able to do that. I never saw it happening. But I mean, I hope that the community can come together and maybe we can do something. And maybe if we ask law enforcement, has anything changed? Has anything changed? Can we search now? Maybe that's the way. I don't know.
Well, and think of this: even if there is a human line formed and we walk the property and she's found, at least she's found. Dawn and Candace won't be in the wondering forever. I mean, what's happened to their daughter? There's at least going to be some kind of closure if need be. I mean, it's going on 8 months now. So, I mean, if she's lost in the woods, I mean, I don't want to say, but, at least there'd be some kind of closure and, she could be put to rest properly. Or if she's not and she's found, alive and someone has been, taking care of her, whatever it is, we need to find her and they need to have some kind of closure regardless of what it is. Because as a parent, I know each and every one of you, has to feel some kind of something. I know Cam and Allie, I know both of you guys, you don't do this just because you're getting, everybody's saying clicks and views and whatever. I can tell that you really care.
No,
you really care. I know that if one of your children went missing, you'd want the whole community to get involved. And I know I would. Yeah. Absolutely.
I would want people to not look at me. Right. Look, take me for example. If I was in that position and the news put my record out there and everything, I've already put it. I mean, I've put my record out on here, but if they put it, people would treat me the same way. I already know that. So how am I? I would hope that some people would rally around me and help me. So,
absolutely.
Why are any of us too good to go over there and say, hey, if your child's missing, let us help.
Absolutely.
Because despite what we feel or what we hear other people say, let's look at it as they're humans. Their child's not missing. We'll look until we can't look no more. Every place we go, we check off.
Yep. Yes. Yep.
Law enforcement, people say, why haven't they done search efforts? Why haven't they done this? Well, when the search, as far as that goes, because the way law enforcement does, they look at the family first and the ones that are closest to that child. They don't want them out being in areas, and there's somebody in here that can back me up on this. And she brought this to my attention back when I did a live about it. They do not want law enforcement or family out there and to be able, if they are suspects, to put anything out there or know where they're at. Second of all, they don't want that to be the last visual they see of their child if they do come across remains or something like that. But I know that families can, put out, they can put search stuff together. They can do visuals. They can do that. But Dawn and Candace don't have money like other people do. Who's throwing the money to them to do these things and put it together? Because I know that they're on Dawn's salary, whatever he's making. I don't know what he makes, but they're far from rich. I can promise you that. And we got the parents that can go out and start America's Most Wanted and start those when they have problems like that. But then you have parents that can't and don't know how to even approach that, because we know that they don't come from the best backgrounds. Don and Candace don't. Um, and this question here on the chat, this guy goes into this. I don't know why Don calls into all these YouTube channels. I feel like through this, I feel like through this that they felt people that had been around them and supporting. And I don't want this to sound bad, and I don't want it to come across the wrong way. So I guess it's the first time that they felt, maybe he's felt like, or Candace, they felt like people have cared or paid attention to them. So they call and they reach out for that attention. I don't know if that makes sense. You get what I'm trying to say?
Oh yeah.
That's why they are
Definitely
they're
does.
trying to keep their little girl's name out there. That's why.
That too, yeah.
They are trying to keep her relevant in any of all, if your child's not relevant and they're missing, they're gonna it's eventually people are going to stop looking for her. So
Right.
to keep her relevant, absolutely, I would go on every single panel. I wouldn't care if they were bashing me or not, because that's keeping my child's name out there for people to be looking for. This is important, and I think that it just shows their desperation to try to find their daughter.
That's
They're
right.
willing to go through scrutiny on YouTube just so that they can keep their daughter relevant in
Right.
the search.
Right.
You know,
And
before
we see you.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
before I'm sorry, before I jump down, do you mind if I mention about the Friday,
No, go
Summer's
ahead.
birthday?
Go ahead.
I'm having like a celebration for Summer's birthday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's like 6:18 right now.
Do I have a mod in here? Throw that in the chat for everybody, please.
Cam is gonna pray. I asked him to come up on panel and pray. I love to hear him pray. Any of other like-minded creators are more than welcome to come up on panel. But it's going to be really nice. Music City Mom's helping too. She's
That's
still
so
in
thoughtful.
the chat. Yeah, with
Something
songs
positive.
and
We're going to hear
a
something positive.
lantern. It's going to be really, really nice. All positive. There's not going to be discussions. It's just all positive about summer.
Good.
So
Good.
I
That's
appreciate
beautiful.
that.
Pictures. There. I was gonna do so. I think we should all wear purple. Have
Oh, there you go.
Purple background. Purple. I'm gonna do something too that day. I'm gonna. This is one thing I'm gonna do to show where I'm no super chats. I'm gonna turn those off. I'm not gonna monetize that day.
Same here.
I read that some good ideas people have had. Not monetized, no super chats, no nothing. We're just gonna put it out there for Summer. It's about her.
Yep.
Pray for her. That's the main thing. That's what's gonna make a difference. Regardless, of what your belief system is. I've seen the power of prayer work. I've seen it.
Absolutely.
I've seen it.
Yes.
And I think that's what's needed here. And I feel like the people are starting, when Jay sent me that apology that one day, I didn't expect to see that. That came out of nowhere. And I said, I was like, maybe, we were praying for God, let us have the peace and let us have the, patience to wait for, what you want us to do. Because best believe I didn't handle it perfectly. I jumped and went, and sought out my anger too that one time, and everybody saw it. But we have to move forward. We got to be able to swallow our pride and say it don't matter. Yes, you might have said that about me, but that's okay. I'll sit here and we'll do it for the greater good. We're in true crime. That's the genre we chose. It's not about the rumors and the speculations and saying, it's about this child. That's what it's about.
The one thing, Cam, for you, you have already proven yourself just by being on your channel. I have seen you go on other channels, and I just cringe when I hear some of the questions that are asked of you. And I feel you don't need to do that. You're beyond that. You don't need to answer those questions, Cam. And I just feel like I need to say that to you. I need for you to know it. You don't need that. You're beyond that now.
Thank you.
You've proven yourself. Yeah.
I appreciate
And the
it.
thing that makes me feel is that you care. I can tell that you
Yes.
care. I watch pretty many channels, and you actually do care for this little girl. For every case that you are on, I think that you have the ability to put yourself in that parent's shoes that's missing their child, or whatever case that you're on, and that's what makes you stand out. You're not
And
trying
so
to bash
incredibly
anyone, or
humble.
yes, you're not trying to
Yeah.
overdo anyone. All you're trying to do is be helpful. And everyone can see this. Don't ever apologize for that. You
No.
are the voice. When a child doesn't have a voice, you are their voice. So
Thank
don't
you.
apologize for that.
No,
I'm
and I
not
wouldn't
good. I'm
waste
not.
my time with answering to other people anymore. The way how they come at you. It's because they're not you. I'm sorry, but that's why. And I just hate to see you do that. I hate to see you in that position.
I have a lot of self-esteem issues and stuff through the problems I had in my essay stuff, and that happened to me.
Well,
So
forgive yourself. You are
I
doing
know,
well.
right? Just come
Forgive
to
yourself.
me and Christine.
Forgive yourself.
We'll help.
Everybody makes mistakes. You forgive yourself. Don't keep beating yourself up for it. Forgive yourself.
But I strive every day. I think my issue is, and what helps me though, is I'm striving every day to try to be better than I was the day before. Regardless,
Absolutely.
do I fall back? Yes. Do I have days that I take 10 steps back? Yes. But then in the bigger scheme, I'm constantly trying to do what's better for me and what can I do better to help other people. I was not a good person in the past. I was a very angry person, and I carried a chip on my
But you're
shoulder,
not anymore.
and I tried to prove
Yeah.
myself as being a tough guy when I wasn't back then. So now, I'm not the same person at all, and that's by the grace of God. And I wanted to use that.
I was just going to say, but
this
there for the
case.
grace of God go I, Could be
Yeah,
Do you
thank
know
you.
do you know the poem Footsteps in the Sand?
I have heard it. I think so. I don't know it right off the
Take
bat.
a moment. Think about that.
Thank you. I
And we love
appreciate it.
you.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And I'm sorry if I haven't answered a lot of people and reached out to Terry, to you especially. I just
Hey, it's okay.
after all the things that happened in the beforehand, I tried to separate from other creators, but we're gonna do some good stuff. We're gonna make this happen. I appreciate you guys for coming up. We're running on 2 hours. I can't believe it's that long. I was so unprepared, and we probably rambled, but it's okay.
It's daylight when we started.
Freestyle, yeah, it's Freestyle Friday. I didn't have nothing planned, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you guys in the chat. Let's hope maybe that he'll come up and we can talk to him. I want him to be able to clear. I don't want to have any bad blood against anybody. So, Mr. Sherfy, if you're listening, you're more than welcome to come up here. We'll treat you with respect. That's about it, guys. Thank you. I'll let y'all hop off here, and I'm going to close this thing out.
Bye, everybody.
All right.
Thank y'all so
Thanks,
much.
Kim. Bye,
Support you.
Christine.
Keep going. Bye.
Guys, thank y'all so much in the chat. I appreciate it. I'm sorry that was kind of all over the place. Like I said, we didn't have it planned. I didn't have anything put together. I didn't pay attention to the chat much. I was trying to be engaged in the conversation and stuff. But guys, thank y'all so much. Maybe we can email me your ideas. Email me some stuff we can do. We're gonna put together some better content. We're gonna move on. I wanted to say this, David Dougherty, that's Tegan Dougherty's dad. If you guys were around when we were covering that case, he randomly reaches out and does nice things, and he knows he doesn't have to do them. If he's listening, man, he'll come by like ever so often, and he'll leave like an email, or he'll leave like $20 in Cash App, and I'm like, bro, you don't have to do that. I was like, this is what we're here and supposed to do. Answers, I guess, came. He was in Alaska. If y'all weren't familiar, he called and got in contact with us from Alaska. His son was in Tennessee, in Loudon, Tennessee, and was missing. Thank you, Mama Sheaf 13. But his son was in Loudon, Canada, was missing for over a month. We got on a live together, me and Allie and David Dougherty. We talked about some information and law enforcement had got in touch and said that they didn't know about those things with the parents that Tegan was living with till he talked about it, stuff from other states. Tegan was found very shortly after, and there was arrests made. And as far as I know, Tegan's in doing better, and he's in a solid place right now. So we can do good things to help these cases in our own backyards and even far away. But guys, I appreciate it. This chat has been beautiful tonight. I noticed I didn't see anything crazy. Guys, thank y'all so much. We appreciate it. And Allie will be home probably right here very soon. Golly, time went by fast. Let me see if I missed anything. Oh, thank you, Jackie Centil. Yeah, Miss Christine was very good. I appreciated her coming up here. That was amazing. Terry, thank you. Thank you to the other guests. They kind of just popped off here and fell off. And I didn't know where they went. I wasn't trying to be rude. That's the first time I've really had a panel that big. It's a work in progress. You got to take it day by day. Thank you, Momo. Thank you to the people that were over in Chroma Mama's chat last night. And thank you guys for the way that you respected me through everything. Here, Puddin', it's crackingcases@gmail.com, just how it's spelled there with no space. That's our email. I will, Karen, Canada. Am I way behind or something? Okay. Thank you, Slink. Thank you, Miss Christina. I saw the glare was in here a little bit earlier. Thank you, buddy, for stopping by. Thank you. We see you. Thank you to all the mods. Thank y'all for what you do. Y'all are awesome. Arietti, Miss Tracy, Music City Mom, Debbie. There are so many. I don't want to miss any right now. I call it random ones out every time. Let me see who's in here right now. Diane. Hey, Lori Kennedy. How are you? I kind of needed a chill day. It's a stressful 2 past lives, and I've been talking on other people's. I miss so much, but I didn't miss you winning that mug. Thank you for letting me know. All right, guys. See if there's anything else I can think of that I was going to miss. That I didn't want to miss. I think I had something pulled up right here. Give me 1 second. I want to show you all this. Y'all can probably still see me. I'm on a different page, but let me see if I can look this up real quick and I'll show you. See if I can find it. I had a video that I found, guys, that I didn't even know I had, and I wanted to share this with you. It's been from a while back, and like I said, I didn't put some of them out because I played them on lives. How long did that throw me out of there? That was crazy. I was in here. How long ago did that throw me out? Gosh, man, I don't know why it's doing this. Anyway, I don't know what y'all heard me say last, but I'm going to share this. Reminds me of when I was growing up. That I grew up in a rural area, almost like the Wells. They have a little bit more property than what I grew up on. 30 seconds, okay. I was freaking out. I was over there talking away and thinking that y'all were on another screen, and it completely closed me out. Oh, I'm getting tired of this. Sometimes technology hates me, and sometimes I do okay with it. Here it is. All right, I got to be. This is the kind of stuff that you would never think we would entertain you as a child, but it does. And this is one of the places that Summer just liked to play on the backside. It is in this little truck bed right here. She would slide in it, and this was something that that when it, I guess when I was up there, it resonated with me because the way I grew up and stuff, and it was little things that me and my brother played in like this that that kind of that made me understand that kids can entertain themselves with anything. But here, this right here is behind the camper, and this is where Summer liked to slide and play in the back of this truck bed. Like I said, it's not a life to be stuck in an apartment. It's good to be in the country and run around like a country kid does and be out and play getting. No. Yeah, I can't. I don't want to show the tag on the camper or anything. That's why I shut that off right there. But I've got quite a few stuff that it was just random stuff that we filmed by being around on that property up there, and but I don't know if y'all care to see it. It's little stuff that maybe that's what I want to play for on Friday, and I wanted to show you just a little bit of it. It's stuff that Summer liked to do, stuff that maybe nobody else would have paid attention to it. And she could have had toys and Paw Patrol stuff and everything, but when you grow up out there, sometimes just having a stick and playing out and acting like you have a fort built and stuff, will pass time. But I've got a lot of good stuff like that that'll show, kind of the stuff she liked to do that we were told she liked to do. Anyway, I'm done. I'm going to, I don't know if anybody had prayer requests, but I'm probably past that. So I'm just going to do just a prayer in general. Hey, everybody, thank you for bearing with me. I'm not trying to ramble. I'm going to get off here now. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the people that came up on the panel tonight. Let us continue to have caring hearts. Lord, bless us with the ability to have empathy and sympathy towards people in situations that maybe we don't even understand. So if sometimes situations scare us, and maybe a way of guarding yourself from a situation that you're in fear of would be to be harsh towards somebody or point the finger and point out the flaws that they might have that you feel like you could never have. But Lord, thank you for giving the people that do have an appreciation and maybe have come from the rock bottom and have seen both sides, Lord, and know that we have to stand up for our brothers and sisters in Christ. We have to be rocks for them. We have to be uplifting to get them out of situations that maybe they're struggling in. Lord, let us take that stance. Let us move forward to lift up our brothers and sisters in Christ, regardless of what their past might be and the things they might have done. We all have the ability to change, but only through you, God. Only when you trust, or we trust in you and we have faith in you, and we know that you can let the old man die and you bring the new creation in Christ out in us. Lord, let us listen to you. Let us be guided by our hearts and not our minds and not our bodies, because the flesh is sinful. Let us look to better things. Let us have faith above all else. Lord, we ask that you put a hedge of protection around Summer. We ask that you put a hedge of protection around all the children that are missing. We ask that you put conviction in those people's hearts that do bad things to hurt those children, or put images out that would cause people or children that might have to see those things by just going through Snapchat or Instagram. Lord, we rebuke people that would cause harm and do things like that. We ask that those sins and those principalities be bound in hell where they belong. Again, God, we're nothing without you. We turn our backs on you all the time when you don't turn your backs on us ever. You love us when we're not easy to be loved, and you carry us through situations that we don't even ask you to, but then we take it for granted that you did carry us through, and we think that we've done it on our own. But that's necessarily not the truth. You protect us, Lord, when we don't deserve it. But God, again, put the right people in the right place at the right time to solve these cases, and maybe be there to help save a child that might be in a store with somebody that they don't know, somebody that's taken them. Put the right people that will see that child and grab them up and save them, and maybe return them home. There's always things we can do to make a difference in our communities. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Guys, I appreciate it. I'm sorry that I went a little long-winded with that. I really felt that one. Thank you again. And I guess that's it for us. I'm going to try to put some stuff together tomorrow and the next day. But Allie will be off Friday, and she might be with me tomorrow. So she's going to put together the Evelyn Boswell piece she's wanting to do. She actually started working on it. So that'll be something good to look forward to. That's it for me. What did somebody say down here? Makes it $30. What? All right, I'm done, guys. I appreciate you. I love y'all. Thanks for supporting us, and we will catch you on the next one.